Happy Saturday afternoon. I think it's Saturday. This is Cheryl at Sea Spirit Tarot. And I had a girlfriend ask me if her birthday is in November, was it yesterday, I believe, if I would do a spread for her, a birthday Day of the Dead spread. So I found a nice short little 5-card spread. And then when I'm pulling the cards, because I pull the Goddess card and I pull a Halloween card, the cards just came falling out of the deck. So, my dear, you have actually probably an 11-card spread. The first card that I'm going to show, and this is labeled Morgan Le Fay. Now, in all of the Arthurian text, the Morgans, they all changed places. I believe they both each had a child by Arthur. The one, Morgan Le Fay, through deceit and getting him drunk, so she would have, was it Mordred, who would be direct successor. But the other sister, so that would be the half-sister, Morgan Le Fay. The other sister, who I call Morgan, was the healer and the high priestess, and they also came together in union when Arthur came into his kinghood and had the ceremony of Avalon with the high priestess. So actually both him and his sister were highly chosen archetypes or energetics to come in and inhabit this earth. And I say on this earth because another timeline. So Morgan Le Fay is one for me that's actually often hard to identify with, because I believe that she has that sneaky, distrustful, dishonest side. But she is a goddess, and we all have that side inside of us, even if it's an unconscious side that comes to our consciousness and we choose not to acknowledge it. So that was interesting, okay? And then the other card that came up, which works well with Day of the Dead, I think, is Hel, H-E-L. And she's the Norse queen of the underworld, mother goddess, aren't they all? But what I like so much about her is even though the Christians, or as the language evolved, took the name H-E-L of their hell, this is not, there's so many variations of hell, but this is not where people are going to be punished, but rather a place of renewal. Let me see if I can get that. Renewal rather than a place of punishment and misery. She's an embodiment of the divine mystery, a challenge to look behind the mask of appearances and see things as they really are. Well, happy Scorpio birthday. I think both of those just work very well to the deepness of Scorpio. Starting to pick up, you might hear motorcycles. I am a half a block from the beach, and though the main part of Bike Rally is downtown in the historic district, well, I mean, there's like probably 12 or 14 blocks. There's actually probably a good mile of it also here on the seawall, of which sound stage and booths are actually less than a half a block right here behind me. So, and then the bike's coming by the front of my place, of course, because, that's the only other road there. The Halloween card, the first one that came out and came out alone, not alone, they came out together, but separated from the other two, was Scrying. Scrying, look deep within yourself. Get an obsidian stone and look. Get a crystal ball and look. Go to the creek and look. But Scorpio, I don't have to tell you to look deep inside of yourself, do you? I just have to remind you that when you look deep, to remember to come up for air, because Scorpios do dive so deep into their intuition. And as I said in one of the other, I think it was my Scorpio New Moon video, that Scorpio was actually a mystic healer, but the patriarchy put her down, down, down. So now Scorpio is a more repressed, depressed, and somewhat angry sign sometimes. Of course, part of Scorpio is the stinging Scorpio, and part of Scorpio is the eagle or the phoenix, whichever interpretation. These two cards came out together. This forgiveness, reducing the burden, and you know, when you forgive someone, true forgiveness, it makes no difference on their line of karma. It makes a difference on your line of karma, because that's not a dark space that you're holding within your own body. And the card, I mean, these came out just right together like that. It's the skull of flowers, creating through the ashes. So as deep or full of loss or regret as one may feel during Scorpio time, and maybe being a Scorpio, know that is the same thing that is creation. The energy wants to serve you. The energy is here to serve you. Ask or command the energy to serve you. When you catch yourself going down more remorseful and deep or angry, remember the forgiveness. Because, like I said, the forgiveness doesn't do anything for them, so you can still be angry at them, I guess. No, it doesn't sound right. But it does do for your karma. Scorpio is such a heavy sign. Heavy, heavy, heavy. I have some friends that are Scorpios, but for the most part I carry a silver cross in front of me. When I kind of think I should take a vampire kit with me. But mostly, I guess, instead of a vampire kit, I need a shield. Because I seem to be, if they're not evolved, I seem to be bait. Victim bait. Okay, now on to the reading. I have a new deck of cards. Well, it's not new. Gosh, I can't think of the name of them right now. And when I came back to reading cards, after all these years, I mean, they were not forgotten. They just weren't up front. Marielle. I've had the box just put away and just dealing with a couple other decks I'd bought in my old decks. But I've been looking at this deck, and I'm only working on the major arcanas right now. So I took the major arcanas and I shuffled them all face down on the table. And then I did the hand shuffle thing. And as I posed each question, I waited for a card to appear. So that's how these cards were chosen. This is called the Dead Spread. And it says here it's from Witchcraft Artifact. And I did get it off the internet. So this is called the Dead Spread. So I think that's what I was asked to do. A dead spread, birthday spread. What is dead and you must let depart? The card that comes up is the Magician. It's going to be multi-layered. But the way I'm looking at this, now here we show the Magician as Metatron. And we also show with Metatron's cube. And we also show Metatron sometimes as Thoth. And we show him as Hermes, the healer. And one of the most important things about the Magician is that they take action. So this is what is dead and must depart. And though I did turn these cards over, it's heavy. The Magician holds all the elements. He is standing, usually in the water, and he has the sun behind him, I believe, and the luminesque of eternity. So what is dead and must depart would be maybe the old you, the past creation of you, a new way coming in of creating, old belief systems. It could even be a male in your life, one that no longer's frequency is with you. Put it down, it's heavy. When they come together, we'll see. What grave issue of now must you address? Justice, which kind of goes with that forgiveness card. Justice is judging yourself, the decisions that you've been making. Decisions, this is Matt. Matt, who weighs your soul against the feather. A lot of times here, to get through this earth, we have to swallow a lot of stuff we don't want. Some of that makes us good karma. Some of it makes it bad karma because, one, it may be not overly ethical. Two, it may be well worth what your soul is, your soul source is holding is important, and you are not highly honoring that, which will pop out in some other way of obsession, repression, depression, feelings of not being true to yourself. What is needing life that you must support? The sun, your sun soul self. Actually, the sun in the major, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. You ended up with just a major arcana spread because I haven't broken apart the pips yet. So, your sun soul source, Scorpio. Everything that Scorpio stands for. Mostly, I'm going to say dark secrets. But maybe it's time for all that other people's money to come into you also, huh? A deepness. So what is needing life that you need to support is your true inner being of who you are. What are your goals? What is important to you at this time? What do you need to shine on? It is said in some philosophies that once you get to the card the sun, the 19, that it would be 9 of attainment if you follow that way. But when you get to here, you're on direct intuition, direct conversation with higher source, God. And I'm always confused about Metatron. Metatron, the magician, stands behind God. And for years I have said, I want to know what's behind God. I want to know what's behind God. So everybody goes, I believe in God. I believe in God. And I go, I want to know what's behind God. What is sourcing God? And then we are our God. It's all within us. So it gets all deep. Anyway, I'm off track. The cause of this issue is death. Death, we cannot hold on to who we used to be. And I'm finding that the closer I get to my actual mortality of death, the more important the justice to myself, the communication of my son and being on my soul path is. Because when you're running around raising kids and putting in a 60-hour work week and there's not even hardly much time for you to keep yourself even going. But death, our mortality, I don't want to sound grim, but, I'm doing this for a Scorpio, and she too is in an occupation. Mortality is was right in our faces. So we face our own death each day. When we look in the mirror, when we change a mind paradigm that we have stuck with, we change our own death to be able to be reborn to a higher frequency. And the solution to this issue is temperance. Temperance, which is healing. Temperance is healing, and here the tiger stripes are so balanced. I mean, just in duality, black and white. I like that it's a tiger because the incoming feminine energy which is Scorpio, which has been depressed. I mean, Scorpio is part of the feminine energy. It's represented by a lion. And in the water and to the heavens, blended all in one feminine archetype for me. But, I mean, it just needs to be a more balance to the feminine from the patriarchy. I am not a women are better than men. We are all here to work on this life together. So let me see if I can come up with anything at all smart to say. I think it's important that the people reading this see the card. So what's dead and must depart? That really confuses me, the Magician. But the person I'm reading for is a Scorpio, so they might just take this right to heart. This Magician, though, is very isolated. He also stands between the two pillars. So maybe what needs to depart is not believing in yourself. Or maybe on a mundane way, someone in your life physically is to depart. The grave issue now that you must address is the justice, putting everything together, being who you are being, accepting the decisions that you have made so that you can heal them with forgiveness and recreate them with the skull of flowers. Okay? Justice. You're not going to get anywhere to the top of the tree of life, I tell you, without that sword of truth. And the sword of truth needs to be within you. A knowingness, an I am. I am that I am that I am. And this is my integrity, and this is my sword of truth. Yeah. What is needing life that you must support? Yourself, your son, your spiritual journey. Everything that makes you golden and glow. I don't understand all of these symbols on here, and if she doesn't have it, that's the tarot thing. That's, I thought, water. But I guess the sun shines to reflect on the moon. A lot of circles here. Circle is definitely a feminine energy. Definitely a feminine energy. Beautiful card. This person seems to be, this sun seems to be screaming for attention at this point. It's tribal, very tribal. Basic, vulnerable. Create yourself to be is absolutely beautiful as Matt, huh? The cause of this issue, death. Death to belief systems. But what I'm hitting here is we're both old crones, and we're getting up there. We're getting up there to this death issue, and we've had jobs where we have stared death in the face day in and day out. So get rid of it now. You know, I mean, at what point do we even have to lose? Our kids are grown. We can be exactly who we want to be. Now, this woman here, and I don't look in the book during readings, I will afterwards, is a person that represents some goddess. I don't know who it is. And up here is interesting. That's a praying mantis. A praying mantis. Kind of a sticky bug. One that I think when they mate, doesn't the male die? Or the male, yeah. And she gets the flower. But we are approaching, we're crones now, and we don't have time to screw around with making a bunch of funny judgments and creating things incorrectly, because we have got to be who we are. And the divine intervention, well, they're all divine. These are major arcana. Solution is temperance, tempering, healing, and balance. And knowing that we are goddesses. We are goddesses. For me, that's a base chakra and a throat chakra. I don't want to read my needs into your reading, but maybe that's what we need to stand up to creating who we really are. Our justice, our sunshine through, to be the crone, our crone of great wisdom. We are crones of great wisdom. It's funny, society, when we get to this age, looking at society, isn't it? But blessed be the crone. Blessed be the crone. And the bottom of the deck, because it makes it like an 11-card reading, is the Wheel of Fortune. So know that, and it's almost exhausting, like, okay, this is all part of the journey. Round the wheel you go. If you can get inside those spokes and get into that hub of the wheel, speaking directly here with the sun, things got kind of rolled out of hand here. Slippery. New cards are slippery. Be your sun soul selves. Be that Scorpio. Be the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Right here. Creating through the ashes of whatever is handed to you on this Wheel of Fortune. Because the thing is, the Wheel of Fortune, at least you have action. Okay? It's kind of a strange reading, I know. But that is your reading. Happy birthday. As I grow more comfortable with these cards, it's just knowing that my girlfriend's a Scorpio, for some reason, and knowing her, I just thought she would appreciate let me lay them all out, so the art of these cards. Our bodies, we learn through frequency, and we learn through symbols. And the cards trigger in us a remembrance, a part of our blueprint that we go forward with in our life. So that is why I always stress it's so important to see the cards. And because it's like mind mapping. You know, you see a card and a thought comes to your mind, and then bang, 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 50 thoughts come to your mind. So when you have a tarot reading, don't feel so locked in, because everything is always revolving. Everything is always changing. Everything is always recreating. Everything is always being judged. Everything is aging. Everything is illuminated. And everything is being healed on our journey on this earth. Happy birthday, my girlfriend. Love and light to everybody else. If you sat through this spread, thank you very much as I continue on my journey of changing this could be my spread, I tell you, but it's not. But maybe it is a spread that's also common to many women in our generation, our generational spread. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Happy birthday, my dear sister. Happy Day of the Dead. Blessed fall. Love and light of the goddess. Blessings. Thank you.